Okay, so this is a first in a series I've been calling comedians getting canceled while getting coffee. Canceling comedians while getting coffee.
Cancellation with coffee comedians.
Comedians in cars getting canceled.
Coffee comedian.
Comedians in cars getting canceled.
That should be the new 420 comic. It's a coffee comedian, dude.
And it's the post-Hinchcliffe situation, and we're just addressing all the best arguments from the comedy cops.
And no, I don't look that much like Tony Hinchcliffe.
And this is not, and confession time, this is not actually, I've been lying, this is not Tony Hinchcliffe.
I do not look that much like Tony, and I sound way more like a man.
He does not sound like Paul Lynde from Hollywood Square.
I sound more like a man than Tony Hinchcliffe. Let's be real.
Straight cishet.
Okay.
Anyway. But, so the first one's Michael Knowles from Daily Wire.
It sounds like something a French person would be like, oh, you cishet.
Cishet. I would order cishet. So, that's Ben Shapiro's website, and he's got some thoughts about Michelle Wolf's roast at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And the reason I'm addressing this is because it says, Michelle Wolf, reason why Michelle Wolf bombed. Michelle Wolf did not bomb, and this is a move the comedy cops like to use. They like to say that Louis C.K. bit, he bombed. And Sam Cedar said that about Jerry Seinfeld, he bombed. That bit bombed. And Tony Hinch, it was this thing about a gay French king, like kids who go through dating apps like this, like choosing people like a gay French king.
Oh, okay, I see.
So, and then Tony Hinchcliffe bombed. But when you listen to all these bits, you hear the audience laughing. So what they mean to say is, in Michael Knowles' mind, this bit bombed. This set bombed. So here it goes.
All right, let's do it.
48 statements that she intended to be jokes. Because I watched the whole thing, I watched it. There was parts of it a few times, and I was able to identify 48 lines that she would probably call jokes. They weren't...
He sat there and counted 48 lines. That's a guy...
That's true. He had an Excel spreadsheet going during this lady's set.
He had a calculator because he can only count up to 10.
I wish somebody would pay attention to my set.
I want somebody to analyze my fucking comedy that hard.
You want somebody to analyze you in general.
Analyze this.
Analyze
this.
I say that the Oxford English Dictionary definition of a joke is a thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter, especially a story with a funny punchline. Now,
okay, it doesn't have to have a punchline. Jokes don't have to have punchlines. But if I were talking about comedy with Michael Knowles and he pulled out a dictionary, I'd fuck him in his ass pussy with it.
Why?
That's just obnoxious. I'm going to pull my dictionary and we're going to look up the word comedy.
I mean, that is usually like the worst offenses is when people start with, well, the Oxford definition for usually.
That's done way too much.
Yeah.
But sometimes.
It's like, this isn't the start of an essay in 11th grade.
Well, let me look up the word racist.
Forget that these didn't really have punchlines, a lot of them. A lot of the statements were just statements. They weren't jokes. They weren't intended to make people laugh. Maybe she wanted people to laugh, but they didn't follow the arc of what an actual joke is. So she'd say, so-and-so lies and is a liar. So-and-so is a disappointment to women. She used that line a bunch. She
didn't use that line a bunch. She used it one time because it's a punchline.
Who was she referring to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Michelle Wolf. Remember when Michelle Wolf did the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like something, something, something if something was a disappointment to women. Yeah, it was a joke.
I mean,
she did as well as everybody else.
That's got to be a tough gig.
It is a tough crowd, but they all laugh because they all want to be able to go home and say, I laugh at myself. See?
It's probably like a little bit better than hosting the Oscars, but
Oscars
still a shitty gig.
Well, all those gigs, people laugh politely, but even when you bomb. But Norm fucking bombed at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but... fucking Stephen Colbert has the most legendary White House correspondent, and he did worse than Michelle Wolf.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't really watched that many correspondence dinners.
That's really the only one worth watching.
They're
is
kind
the
of
Colbert
like
one.
Small little roast sessions.
Yeah, they're roasting the president.
Right?
Yeah, you roast the president.
So Jeff Ross has never done one?
That seems,
Good for them.
That
Good
seems,
for them.
That's
It's too easy.
Yeah. They should get Tony Hinchcliffe next year.
So,
And is there any Asian people in the staff?
no, I don't know. Yang, unless he had added Yang to his cabinet.
Oh, God. I wouldn't add Yang to my Yang. That was awful. I'm sorry.
He was cool with Shane saying
Did he?
Yeah, they met up with Shane Gillis after the whole thing. And
Oh,
was
really?
kind of just like I could tell that you were kidding, man. And then he was kind of like, it was weird. There was a whole little thing. I mean, this was of course like what shit like.
That's why all the
3
comics.
years ago.
That's why all the comics endorsed him.
Yeah, it's because I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, Ivanka Trump is a disappointment to women, but that isn't a joke. That's just an insult. But it's not insult comedy. It's just you just don't. That's what you think. Okay, that's fine. So, regardless, I wanted to include that because that's 48 statements that might have been intended to be jokes. A full 22 of them were just about genitals. And a 23rd flew directly from the genital to the scatological. So 22.
Do you notice he laughed?
So does that mean scatological? That means butt stuff.
That means
right?
shit.
Yeah. Okay.
So first of all, he's lying. There was no dick and shit jokes in the set. He just made that up. But you notice that he laughed because even the mention of like poo poo and wieners makes him laugh. And yet, that's not fodder for humor.
It's a childlike smile he gets too. It's.
And by the way, since we're taking the positions we're taking, this is appropriate. I do want to apologize for that Yang joke, and I want to apologize because it was a bad joke, not because of any other reason other than that. All right.
23 are occurring below the waist, and 22 were just about genitals. I'm actually surprised she did this because this sort of thing is a parody of bad female comedy. This is what you get from Amy Schumer when she's not stealing other people's jokes, and Sarah Silverman. It's
Shots fired.
The easiest, grossest comedy.
Listen, Sarah Silverman talks about being a Jew a lot more than she talks about her vagina.
She has. You want to hear one of the greatest Holocaust jokes ever?
I knew that Sarah Silverman was a Jew long before I knew she had a vagina.
Go look up tribute to Mel Brooks, Sarah Silverman tribute to Mel Brooks, and you will hear the fucking harshest, funniest fucking Holocaust joke ever uttered. But go on. Please.
We're almost done with this.
Yeah, it's a short
this
video.
Little fucking Nancy.
Comedy that usually people don't really laugh at. South Park perfectly skewered this sort of fake comedy.
Hey, girls are funny, Wendy, okay? Get over it. Just do women's comedy stuff, talk about how fat you are and how you want to have sex with guys and then say, my vagina a lot.
My vagina.
That is it. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are making fun of the Amy Schumer, Sarah Silverman kind of comedy because that isn't funny. I suppose they think it's funny because it's incongruous, right? They're playing on an incongruity. So they say, well, women are perceived as being very feminine and nice and pleasant and graceful.
Just
and
the ones
we're
that don't
going to
fuck
be
you.
explicit and vulgar and materialistic and profane. But the thing is, that doesn't work. That only works once. That only works in the 80s. It does.
Do you remember those fucking amazing 80s comics? Sarah Silverman and Amy Schumer?
What? I mean, I guess, well, like Roseanne, that was like
Roseanne was an exception to a rule.
Like, and what's her name? Fuck.
Ellen Clegg, not Ellen Clegg.
Julia Dreyfus.
No, she was an actor.
But I heard somebody said that she did stand up and was like killer whenever she did.
DeGeneres and Paula Poundstone both did Seinfeld-esque stuff. Who's the one that dated Seinfeld that had the big fucking hair? She used to fucking she used to do Elaine Boozler. Elaine Boozler was vaguely political. Was pretty much political, but yeah, he's full of shit, dude. Judy Tenuta used to have a fucking accordion, and she'd be like,
That's weird.
She was more like Bobcat Goldthwait.
I mean, he's got a pretty common take on female stand-up.
Yeah, I think he's comedically illiterate.
Yeah.
It doesn't work when the norm for women is feminism. When the gracefulness and the femininity has all gone out the window for decades, then it's not funny anymore. It's just, that's the way it is, right? That's sure.
Well, like, if a guy did it, it would just be It'd be like, this isn't genuine.
But the main argument I wanted to make there was they typically lie about whether or not the fucking joke bombed, and I don't really have to refute that because they're just lying. And even if a joke bombs, it doesn't mean shit.
Very true. The weirdest thing I would say, though, you pointed out, is the fucking counting of the jokes.
I gotta...
Like, he had to have watched that multiple times.
No, I don't think he watched it at all. I think he just pulled that number out of his ass.
You think
he lied like twice,
shit?
At least twice,
Okay.
2 or 3 times about the set.
I mean, that's true.
But dude, the thing is, I'll tell you what. When I first started, somebody told me about laughs per minute, so I like literally took a set, my 5 minutes. The are you a cop? You got to say you're a cop. If somebody says you're a cop, you know that I use this everywhere. Like if you pay me money, it's a bit that I do. Like if you pay me money, I'll do this bit. But because I counted out 4 laughs per minute by marking where the laughs are supposed to be, and then I did the set, and then any missing laughs I just didn't count, and then I averaged it out to 4 laughs a minute, which is Tonight Show level 5. Which is the Tonight Show level 5, I think.
Is that what they asked for? Is 4?
Well, 4 laughs per minute.
25 seconds.
Well,
I don't know, 15 seconds.
This is how far I took it. I also went. I watched Louis C.K. He got 4 laughs a minute, and then I watched Mitch Hedberg. He got like 17 laughs a minute.
Well, yeah, it's just Mitch Hedberg. He just his jokes are a little bit shorter.
And then I tell people that, they'd be like, "Why'd you do that?" They're like making fun of me for caring.
I mean, like, the things some people do whenever they start out are silly, but, like, it's just not knowing and, like, trying to find something that you feel like will make you better that doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just
like,
a learning process.
One time a kid at a mic walked up. I don't even know if I've ever seen him since then. It was a while before, like, the pandemic and all that shit. But he asked me if I thought it would be a good idea for him to get a microphone and like a little amp so that he could work on mic control like in his room, like how to hold the mic and where to hold it and all that shit.
I do that,
and
but
I was
I
just
do it
like
this.
Yeah, I was just like, I mean, it's not
that.
a bad idea, but
It's not.
if I were you, I would just save the money and like just work on it on stage, because
I would take that fucking amp. I would take that amp and go out into the street and just start just
or do something like that. Yeah, but he literally just wanted, his idea was to practice it to have it to like be able to
look cool.
Yeah, know that he was projecting right and that he was holding the mic in the right spot and all that kind of nonsense. But I was like, I feel like that's an expensive practice tool. Just go to open mic, so you'll learn. That way, you'll learn the hard way.
Yeah, or you could just buy a brush, a hairbrush.
Well, I think he wanted it more specifically to know
The voice,
where the mic was going to pick him up. Yeah.
Oh, like how far away the mic should be.
So it would be like and get quiet, or like, you know, he just wanted to be able to get up there and be comfortable with the mic knowing. I mean, I get what he was doing, and it probably came to him during somebody's set where they weren't talking loud enough because of all the back chatter, and then the next person was screaming, and everybody was like, God, it's too loud. You know, it probably was something around that.
I gotta blow a fat vape cloud so the viewers can laugh.
Dude, rip them, cloudies.
This is the main criticism of the show.
Cloud.
Is I blow clouds. I blow fat clouds, and they're
clouds.
jealous.